Hey everyone, welcome back to History Habits. I'm James Bay. What if I told you that on February 11th, 1144, one slightly nerdy English guy sitting in a freezing Spanish room accidentally kicked off 700 years of mad science, royal greed, exploding laboratories, and the very foundations of chemistry, all because he finished his translation homework on time? Yeah, no battles, no kings getting crowned, just a quill, some candlelight, and one book that made Europe lose its collective mind over turning lead into gold. Stick around. This story is wild, and by the end, it might just help you turn your own daily grind into something golden. Let's dive in. Picture Europe in the early 1100s. The Roman Empire is long gone. Libraries are basically empty, and most scholars are copying the same three books over and over like it's the world's most boring group chat. Meanwhile, in the Islamic world, scholars had been cooking, literally, with ancient Greek knowledge for centuries. Jabir ibn Ayyan and his crew were running real experiments with distillation, acids, and this wild theory that all metals were made of sulfur and mercury. They had labs that would make a modern chemistry teacher jealous, and a lot more explosions. Europe was starving for this knowledge. Enter the Reconquista in Spain, a messy border zone where Christians, Muslims, and Jews were fighting, but also secretly trading books like Pokemon cards. Yeah, they did that back then. Our unlikely hero is Robert of Chester, an English cleric who probably missed real ale and rainy weather. He's hanging out in Segovia, learning Arabic the hard way, and on February 11th, 1144, he puts down his quill after the very first Arabic alchemy book into Latin, Liber de Composition Alchemy. He even dated it like a true nerd. Finished on the 11th of February, 1144. This wasn't just any book. It was framed as a conversation between a grumpy Christian hermit named Maurinius and a prince who wanted to get rich quick. Robert had no idea he was dropping intellectual napalm on the West. Here's where it gets hilarious. The book tells the story of Prince Khalid, a real Umayyad prince who supposedly ditched palace life to chase the philosopher's stone. He tracks down this hermit Maurinius living in the mountains, who's like the original cryptic Yoda of alchemy. Maurinius makes a prince live like a broke monk for years before spilling the secrets. The black stage, the white stage, the red stage, the mysterious green lion that eats metals. It's part philosophy, part cookbook for very dangerous kitchen experiments. These medieval alchemists were basically the original hype men promising turn your lead into gold, except 99% of them just turned their life savings into very expensive smoke. I mean, they called the failures puffers because they spent all day blowing the furnaces. Imagine telling your mom you lost the family fortune because the green line didn't show up on time. Once Robert's translation starts circulating, alchemy explodes across Europe. Albertus Magnus and Thomas Aquinas are debating it. Roger Bacon is geeking out over the experimental method. Even Isaac Newton later fills notebooks with this stuff. The dude spent more time on alchemy than gravity. Of course, kings kept hiring experts who mostly ran away with the gold they were supposed to create. Here's your first debate topic for the comments. Was this translation a real spark of scientific revolution, or are we giving one overworked translator way too much credit? And second hot take, alchemy. Brilliant proto-science that gave us mineral acid and better distillation, or the world's most expensive pseudoscience hobby? Drop your hottest take below. I read them all. So what does a 12th century translation have to do with you in 2026? Everything. The real alchemy was never about metals. It was about transforming yourself through patient, humble experimentation. Quick 3-step plan you can start today. 1. Identify your lead, one bad habit or stuck area in your life. 2. Run daily micro experiments. Track it. Tweak one variable. Write it down like Robert did. 3. Focus on inner work first. Purify your mindset before chasing the external goal. Do this consistently and watch your ordinary life start turning into something extraordinary. That's the forgotten story of February 11th, 1144. One deadline that changed everything. If you enjoyed this, smash that like button, drop your debate takes in the comments, and share this with one friend who needs a little alchemy in their life. Subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss a habit from history. I'm James Bay. Thanks for hanging out with History Habits. See you on the next one.